if you can create something with no effort, at least with gold, you have to mine it. You have to find it. You have to dig for it. You have to mine it. You have to smelt it.
Right.
With Bitcoin, you have to do something called proof of work, right? You have to buy a machine and you have to tap into the algorithm and you have to pay for electricity and you have to produce effort.
Hey guys, welcome back to Everyday Finance. In this video, Yusko discusses Bitcoin and crypto. If you had only invested 1% of your portfolio in Bitcoin a decade ago instead of reinvesting it, your financial situation would be quite different now. If the individual had chosen a 2% rate, the compounding would have been 3% higher. Alternatively, if a 5% rate had been selected, the compounding would have been nearly 10% higher. It is important to note that this is not a guarantee of future outcomes, but rather an indication of the asset's lack of correlation with stocks, bonds, and other assets that are influenced by interest rates. The factors to consider here are GDP growth, demographics, and inflation. Bitcoin operates independently from traditional financial systems. It focuses on bridging the gap in the digital realm, and lots of things Yusko discusses. So please watch the video to end and share this video and subscribe our channel, Everyday Finance. Thanks.
If you think about scarcity, scarcity makes things valuable.
Exactly.
I always tell this funny, it's a funny story. So Nicholas Sparks, everybody knows Nicholas Sparks,
right?
Good Notre Dame guy, a writer, wrote a couple good books, and he commissioned this artist to make him, and what he does, he takes a photo and then he paints over it, and it's these trees. But he had him he commissioned one, and he called it One, O-N-E. He said, "Can never make another one of these. It has to be one of one." And he said, "I'll pay you $1 million for it." And on the day that he bought it, it was worth way more than that because there's only one. It's the most scarce of that thing there is. Yeah. And in my youngest son, he's 13, so we have two older kids and then our caboose. And great blessing. I mean, amazing. We're much better parents the second time. Not that we were bad parents the first time. We just didn't know
I get it. Yeah, sure.
We
you made all your mistakes.
Now we know stuff.
Sure.
But so he got me playing Magic the Gathering. And I don't know if you've seen the video, but Magic the Gathering put out this new line of cards around Lord of the Rings. And they made a one of one ring card. And this guy opened the pack and got it. And he happened to be videoing. And his hand was shaking because he opened a 25 million. Now, is that really worth 25 million?
Right.
Arguably not. It's a piece of cardboard. But because there's only one, and there are a lot of people in the world that play Magic the Gathering that would pay him a lot of money to have that one of one. So scarcity creates value.
Yeah.
And it's because there's certainty, right? One of the problems with our money, right, the dollar, is this thing called the Federal Reserve, which I always joke is neither federal nor has any reserves.
Nor reserve, right?
It's actually not a bank the way we think of a bank. It's actually a private corporation owned mostly by Europeans, which is kind of weird. So wealthy European families, and it was created in 1913, modeled after the Bank of England, which was modeled after the Dutch National Bank. It was created by a bunch of European families back in the 1600s. And what a central bank can do is they can create money out of thin air. Well, wait a second. Isn't that bad? Think about it. If I have a stack of $1 billion over here, and I create a new stack of freshly minted $1 billion, what just happened to the value of my old stack? Well, it got cut in half. So it's a really interesting phenomenon. From 1776, when we created the Republic, to 1913, a dollar, which is borrowed from the Dutch, right, the Rijksdollar, so because they had the first central bank. So the dollar was worth $1. Now it had a little fluctuation around a depression and a war, civil war, but $1 is worth $1. There was no such thing as inflation. In 1913, the Fed was created by these wealthy families, J.P. Morgan, John D. Rockefeller, the guys from the Rothschild clan from London. And they created this with the sole purpose of controlling money. Because Baron Rothschild years ago said, I care not who issues the laws. If I issue the money, I am the law, or something similar to that. And if Thomas Jefferson said it best, right? If you ever let a private enterprise control the issue of money.
As the host of a gathering, former United States President Donald Trump certainly made quite a few memorable quotes. At his Florida home on Wednesday, May 8th, a gathering of non-fungible token, NFT, enthusiasts took place. During the event, Trump expressed his commitment to supporting crypto entrepreneurs in the US. Additionally, he claimed some responsibility for the renewed popularity of NFTs, citing his own substantial collection. Interestingly, even the mention of his political rivals inadvertently caused the price of the Bitcoin to surge. Several clips of his most memorable lines were released on May 8th on crypto. It's interesting to note that one of the initial clips circulating on social media features Trump promising to create a more favorable regulatory environment for crypto businesses and entrepreneurs. He suggests that the current administration, led by US President Joe Biden and the Securities and Exchange Commission, is responsible for the hostility towards crypto. Many knowledgeable individuals in the crypto industry are relocating their businesses outside of the US due to concerns about the country's regulations. It seems that crypto is indeed leaving the US due to this perceived hostility. So, what steps will you take to address this issue? We need to put a stop to it because I believe it's important to embrace crypto and allow it to thrive. It's no surprise that this is a topic of discussion. Trump has expressed his disapproval of the GOB associated with Biden. Wow, Bodenmemic is quite the coin, with a market capitalization of over $260 million. That's certainly a substantial amount of money. However, I must admit that I'm not particularly fond of that investment. He mentioned that Bodon experienced a sudden increase of over 10% after his comments were posted on X. However, there is another meme-based coin that, regarding Trump, Donald Trump emerged as the clear winner, experiencing a remarkable surge of almost 110% within the given period. The wealthy businessman didn't miss the opportunity to take a playful jab at his political opponent, humorously insinuating that they lack understanding of the world of cryptocurrency. If you support the crypto movement, Trump seems to be the candidate to consider. Let's get back to Mark Yusko interview.
You know, your grandchildren will wake up penniless on the shores of the land that their grandfathers conquered. And it's true because if you can create something with no effort, at least with gold, you have to mine it. You have to find it. You have to dig for it. You have to mine it. You have to smelt it. Right. With Bitcoin, you have to do something called proof of work, right? You have to buy a machine and you have to tap into the algorithm and you have to pay for electricity and you have to produce effort. And this is one of the most genius things. If you think about all of life, big statement, right? All of life.
Right.
It's about converting energy to value, right? You create a podcast, you fuel your body, right? You fuel your mind, and then you produce value through your effort. If we're supporting our church, right? We're giving our time, our talent, our treasure, okay? We're converting energy to value. Mm-hmm. And everything in life is about that. And so things that go against that are antithetical to true value creation. So I always use the example of, actually the best performing asset in the last decade isn't Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's been great. It's better than stocks, better than bonds, better than gold. But the best performing asset is another scarce asset, collectible Porsches.
Really?
Yeah. And the reason is they call it the dentist wrap phenomenon, right? Said dentist, and I shouldn't pick on dentists, but that's what they call it, buys the Porsche, and no one tells them that you should never accelerate when the wheel is turned. There should actually be a string on the bottom of the steering wheel. If you're going straight, hit the gas. If you're going sideways, you can't hit the gas.
Don't hit that gas,
but they turn the wheel, they hit the gas, wrap it around a tree, end of Porsche. So as those Porsches get crashed, the few that survive become collectible. And there are three guys, Jay Leno, Jerry Seinfeld, and John Shirley, the number 3 guy at Microsoft, who will pay whatever it takes to get those collectible rare cars. And so the price of rare Porsches has appreciated more than anything because they're scarce. And we can think of lots of examples in our lives. Someone's time is scarce. I mean, not to go too far in a downer, but I literally learned this morning that a good friend tragically lost his father-in-law in a car accident. I mean, just life is precious and time is scarce. And so time is scarce. Relationships are scarce. Talent is scarce. There are few people who have real talent to do certain things. Leadership skills. One of the reasons we have a big commitment at Notre Dame to training the leaders of tomorrow is, we think leadership is a very valuable asset. So we try to, identify young leaders and help them with scholarships. So that idea of scarcity is really important. And particularly when we're talking about money and investing. And, look, I mean, your the title of your podcast, right? Advancing our church. How do we advance anything? Time, talent, and treasure, right? It's
Absolutely.
The concentration of that conversion of energy into value.
The recent decline in the price of Bitcoin aligns with the underwhelming reception to the market launch of Spot. Bitcoin and Ethereum exchange traded funds, ETFs, are gaining popularity in Hong Kong. The Federal Reserve's decision to keep interest rates higher for longer and the decrease in flows into spot Bitcoin ETFs in the United States are impacting the market. Many are wondering how low the Bitcoin price can go in the ongoing corrective cycle. From a technical standpoint, the ongoing correction in Bitcoin's price has coincided with a decline in the Weekly Relative Strength Index, RSI, from its overbought. With the red wave gaining momentum, there is a chance that a similar situation could occur in 2024. This could potentially lead to a downside target for BTC of around $46,000 by June. This level aligns with its 0.618 Fibonacci retracement line, indicating a significant move. If the price breaks decisively below the 50-day exponential moving average, EMA, there is a risk of it dropping towards the 200-day EMA at around $32,410. This would represent a decline of approximately 58% from the current. If you learned something from this video, then please like this video and subscribe our channel Everyday Finance. And we will meet in next video. Thanks.